Welcome to the Strong Homes, Safe Families podcast, where we focus on preparedness, mitigation, building codes, and topics that advance the disaster safety and resilience movement. I am John Zarella, and I will be your host today. Now, if you are looking to fortify your home, to bring it up to another level as far as, say, hurricanes are concerned, this is the show you want to pay attention to. You may not have the cash to do it right now, but this can be a game changer, what we're going to be talking about today. And the person we're going to be talking to about all of this is Renew Financial's Senior Vice President, Government Relations, Leah Wiggs. Welcome, Leah.
Thanks so much, John. I'm honored to be here today with you. And I just very much appreciate Flash's partnership over the years. So look forward to the conversation.
Oh, this is going to be great. Absolutely great. Now, you're going to explain everything there is to know about what's called PACE. But before we get to that, let's talk about you. Tell us about your passions, your background. What led you to become involved in the disaster safety and resilience movement?
Sure. So I've spent the past 17 years of my career focused on essentially public policy solutions for the day's most pressing problems. Those are things that started in my career from combating human trafficking to expanding access to capital for underserved communities. I studied political science and women's rights and was fortunate to begin my career in the San Francisco Bay Area and specifically in California politics. After working for a California state senator, I went on to work for a boutique consulting firm in Silicon Valley and then moved over into PACE, which is the topic at hand today. And I really wanted to continue to contribute to providing solutions to, again, the day's most challenging public policy issues. And I saw PACE as a vehicle for a solution to one of the challenging problems that we're going to be talking about today.
So, Leah, then, that brings us to the big question. What is PACE? How does it work?
All good questions. So, PACE offers qualified homeowners access to capital at prime rates with strong consumer protections and flexible repayment terms. No other financing product on the market does this today. So, not HELOCs, not mortgages, certainly not credit cards or unsecured loans. And I think that we both know that systemic inequality in banking has limited life changing access to credit for many Americans. PACE expands access to capital as a special assessment lien. So PACE gives homeowners, the opportunity to access lower interest rates than they would typically be able to access potentially through traditional financing. Credit cards, which is an often used alternative, can have APRs of about 22%. And with PACE, interest rates are often between 8 to 10%. PACE is the only financing that offers prime pricing to non prime customers today. And John, what makes PACE uniquely appealing to many is that financing is based primarily on the property's value and the homeowner's equity within the home, as well as their ability to repay the financing. And this is not taking into account the applicant's credit score as the primary ability to repay requirement. This enables PACE to apply more inclusively and equitably to customers more broadly speaking than traditional financing options. And this flexible approach to enabling more people to make critical home upgrades to their home um, may have otherwise been may have otherwise been unaffordable with traditional financing like credit cards or a home equity line of credit, because PACE provides 100% of the upfront cost for the home improvement, meaning that there are no out-of-pocket costs necessary when the homeowner is looking to make that upgrade to their home. and they repay the home improvement over time, either annually, semi-annually, or as part of their monthly mortgage payment. And this is all paid through an assessment added to their property tax bill. PACE solves a common problem that many property owners face when considering how to finance the home improvement, and that's simply how to afford the high upfront cost of getting the project started with limited funds to spare. And in general, the eligibility is relatively similar in the states that offer PACE. California and Florida have established some minor differences, and those are the two states that we operate in today. And the main difference is the product categories in California versus Florida. In California, we finance products that are seismic related, energy saving, energy generation, water saving. And in Florida, those product categories are hurricane resilience, energy efficiency, renewable energy, septic to sewer conversions, and flood mitigation.
So when you're talking about energy, you could be talking about solar panels in Florida, right? If you were thinking of doing something like that at your
Yes,
house, because that saves energy.
exactly. That also generates energy. So it falls into two
Eh,
two different product categories
Yeah,
there.
you get double there. You get double the benefit,
Exactly.
and your AC system, right? I mean, the high vac system, that's part of it too.
HVAC is a huge product category in PACE because the HVAC systems that we finance are more energy efficient than your, standard bottom of the line HVAC system. It saves the homeowner energy.
People, I'm sure out there go, whoa, 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 wait a minute now. What did she just say? And I want to make sure that they're clear that you're saying that PACE picks up 100% of the cost, but it will get folded into your property bill, right? It can be folded in to the bill that you get once a year. You'll have a new line item in there that says whatever the payment would be, right?
Correct. So you pay for it just as you would pay for your property taxes. PACE shows up as a line item on your property taxes. So when you're looking at your property tax bill, you'll see a line item for the PACE assessment within your property taxes. And you'll just need to increase whether you pay through an impound account, you'll need to increase those monthly payments to the impound account. If you pay annually or semi-annually, you'll need to save for that PACE assessment. And that PACE assessment will, just as you said, John, be folded into your property tax payment.
And so I'm out there and I'm going, wow, this is too good to be true. I need to find out how I can do this because I'm thinking I want to do a few upgrades. So where do I go? I mean, to find out more about PACE first of all, and if I do decide I need to do these upgrades, who do I contact to get it done?
That's a great question. So we work with contractors in both California and Florida. Homeowners can visit our website, and that is renewfinancial.com, and they can speak to a representative. They can also call Renew Financial if they want to get in touch with us directly. And again, we provide the financing, but you do need to be working with a contractor who's a registered PACE contractor or a PACE solicitor agent in California. And that can be the contractor that you normally work with. And they can go through the PACE training to become a PACE certified contractor, or you can go directly to a contractor who has already worked with PACE customers. So those are your avenues for accessing PACE financing.
So you really want to, if you're going to do this, ask if, and you're getting quotes, say on bids on project you need to do, ask that contractor if he or she is already PACE certified, so to speak. Um, and if not, if he or she would be willing to go do it so you can take advantage of this program. That's really what you have to do, right? I mean, you've got to find a PACE certified, approved contractor?
Yes, you can also go directly to our website and you can look up your home address, and we can help connect you with a PACE certified contractor.
So you've got that option out there too, then, as a homeowner to, just go ahead and go right on the website and see, okay, I live in this zip code in this area, and see if there's one that's either there or close by.
Yes.
What's the limit on how much money, is available? Is there a limit?
So, John, approval for homeowners is primarily based on the home's available equity and the homeowner's ability to pay back the financing. Eligible property types must be located in participating communities, and homeowners must meet eligibility underwriting criteria in either California or Florida. They also need to select eligible products that we went over previously. A registered contractor also must complete the installation, and the financing can vary from 2,500 up to 250,000.
So it seems to me that this is kind of, I know that the line was that PACE is considered the best kept secret to creating resilient and strong communities. I can see why it's the best kept secret. Are there things that are going to be changing, and as far as the law goes, in Florida and or California down the road?
Yes, there are. Well, just getting into, why PACE is considered one of the best kept secrets. PACE is popular and successful because it really enables local governments to attract private capital for some of these hard to achieve sustainability goals, like increased energy savings, water conservation, storm hardening specifically, flood mitigation, and reduced air pollution. PACE is innovative, but special assessments are really hardly new. PACE uses the tax assessment mechanism, just as we spoke about, and exactly the way that it's intended as a means for local governments to leverage the capital markets to achieve really important policy goals for their constituents. With both traditional special assessments and PACE, constituents must approve PACE assessment. So it's a voluntary assessment that they enter into individually. And PACE, again, is completely voluntary for homeowners. They're only using it if they need to upgrade their home or they're already looking to upgrade their home. But PACE addresses two of the most significant barriers local communities face in confronting climate change. One is overcoming the upfront cost barrier for homeowners that they face when investing in either clean energy or resiliency projects, like putting that new roof on, or unlocking billions of dollars in investment that communities need to make their homes and their constituents safer. And then how is PACE going to change based on recent legislation in Florida? I think that was your second question, John.
That was it.
So
Yep.
there was a bill that recently passed the Florida legislature, and that is SB 770. It was enacted into law on July 1st of this year, and it really establishes sweeping reforms in the Florida residential PACE program. It strengthens consumer protections and provides increased transparency and oversight. Specifically, what the bill does is it creates new minimum standards for consumer protections, such as underwriting standards, and the information that must be included is written and verbal disclosures, best practices and minimum qualifications for contractors. And what it also does is it increases product categories that can be used for PACE into septic to sewer conversions and flood mitigation. So those are two new product categories in Florida that homeowners will be able to take advantage of when using PACE.
Flood mitigation is a big deal. We've seen that very recently here in Florida. We've seen that with the last couple of hurricanes in Central Florida, in particular, with a tremendous amount of flooding that we had after the last couple of storms that sort of sideswiped or blew through. So I mean that's a big deal to people around here, as much as wind. When you talk about the PACE program, it really is out there to, in many ways, help underserved people, correct? And underserved communities.
Yes, absolutely. I think that what it does is it really evens the playing field for individuals who may pay higher interest rates with traditional forms of financing
Mm-hmm.
because they would pay the same interest rate as someone with a higher credit score with PACE. And so, people across the board use PACE for different reasons. But what it really does is open up access to capital for more people in California and Florida. And it also provides benefits specifically for communities. And I'd be happy to go into some of the things that we've seen with just the access to PACE and what it's meant for local communities.
Absolutely. I think that's important. People are going to want to know about a little bit of the success stories out there.
Yeah. So Renew Financial has, and we're just one of four PACE companies. We've funded over $1.8 billion in PACE, and that's across 64,000 PACE assessments. And this is through both California and Florida since the inception of our program. And during that lifespan, we estimate that we've created over 25,000 jobs, reduced greenhouse gas emissions by nearly 2 million metric tons. And John, that's the equivalent of taking over 415,000 cars off the road. We've saved over 1.4 billion kilowatt hours of energy. We've helped generate over 3.4 billion kilowatt hours of energy and conserved over 2.6 billion gallons of water. These stats are great to see. It's a lot harder to put into data some of the benefits that hurricane hardening has had for communities. And, we're just so thrilled to see how much we've contributed to local communities and the policy challenges out there today.
And it's all individuals. I mean, this isn't something that a city or a community can go to you and say, "Hey, we're looking to do some big storm water runoff project or whatever, and we need a lot of money." This is just for individuals, correct?
So our program, yes, is for individual homeowners. There is a commercial element. So commercial property owners, and those commercial property owners can be larger scale industrial. Some government property owners, they can take advantage of PACE as well through other companies, and we'd be happy to share that information. Renew Financial doesn't today fund commercial projects, but there is a commercial component to PACE as well.
You have stuff coming up, potential projects coming up down the road.
Well, John, I think that what we're most excited about is the Florida legislation that I mentioned, which expands into two new product categories: septic to sewer and flood mitigation.
Yeah.
I think that's really going to help Floridians. We've had communities such as Miami-Dade ask for this expansion for, I think, going on years now. So we're really looking forward to just seeing how that plays out in the market. And, we made a lot of changes to our program to comply with the newly enacted law. So we're really excited for our Florida program and to see what changes are in store this year.
As I was saying, all anybody has to do is go Google Florida flooding in Miami and see how bad it was. It wasn't even a hurricane, or tropical system that did it a couple of months back there. So yeah, that to me seems to be a really big deal that you guys are going to be able to do. expansion beyond Florida and California?
Yeah, that's something that we absolutely want to see. There's been interest in PACE in other states, in Washington and Hawaii. There's a lot of other states that have commercial PACE, but we're very excited to help communities and any community that's interested in residential PACE. We urge them to contact us. We'd like to expand not only in our current territories in California and Florida, but into other states. There is three layers of local or of government involved. You do need state legislation, you need a public-private partnership structure, and you need local communities on board as well. So the only two states that have all three of those structures in place are California and Florida today.
With all you laid out, though, as far as the benefits and the savings and the job creation, it seems to me to be a no-brainer that other states would ultimately understand. There's lots of hurdles and loopholes and things that have to be, jumped through. But boy, it really sounds like something that other states should be jumping on. If certainly in the hurricane zone and the earthquake zone, which if you put those two together is pretty much the entire United States at this point in time.
Well, I agree with you, John. And I think the other wonderful thing about PACE is it can be augmented to fit the public policy needs of a given state. So clearly, California seismic hardening is important in Florida,
Yeah.
hurricane hardening is important. Other states may need other product categories, and that's something that PACE can do. So it's really a tool for local governments to just provide access to capital for their constituents. And again, I just thoroughly agree with you that it seems like a no brainer.
Anything you want to add that we have failed to mention?
Well, I would just say that, why Renew is here today is because we have a partnership with Flash. And I just wanted to make the connection between Renew and Flash. If it's not already apparent, Renew and Flash clearly share a goal of helping homeowners to affordably strengthen their homes and safeguard their families from natural disasters and also man made disasters. Flash is a national leader in home resiliency education, advocacy, and innovation. And, their work to ensure that property owners from all walks of life have equitable access to critical home improvements that will protect their properties from really anything Mother Nature throws their way is why we are just so committed to Flash and strengthening the partnership that we have today. So I just wanted to thank Flash for inviting us here.
Well, the Federal Alliance for Safe Homes, their Flash, as you said, they have done and continue to do remarkable work, to get the message out about strong homes, about safety, mitigation, and what you folks are doing is just another perfect example of what Flash wants to do in furthering this whole strong homes philosophy that they have. So I can't thank you enough, Leah, for being with us today. It has been a fantastic discussion, and if you had a phone bank behind you, they'd probably be lighting up now with people calling in wanting to know more.
Well, again,
More about the PACE program.
thank you,
So,
John.
again, many thanks, Leo. Talk
Okay,
soon.
take care. Thank you.
Thanks to all of you for listening to this week's episode of Strong Homes, Safe Families. You can email us at info@flash.org or call us toll free at 877-221-SAFE. That's 7233. Please don't forget to subscribe, rate, share, and provide a review on iTunes. Until next time, I'm John Zarella.